What's going on, guys? So today we have a blindfolded speedrunner cheating again. Now, if you haven't heard about it, Karl Jobst did another little expose on somebody, and essentially a whole community, a handful of people have pretty much banded together to prove that this woman is lying. Now, this is the biggest problem with a female content creator, one way or the other. Normally, if you support them, you're a simp, and if you don't, you're an incel, which I think is the dumbest argument because, you know, some common people that just really don't have a dog in that fight, that's just probably married or dating or in between relationships or whatever may be going on, probably just don't like the person, especially because of the meaning behind why they cheat. Now, to give you an understanding, here's the biggest thing about people with skill, a lot of people with skill essentially in their devoted game or their devoted genre. You have FPS players that will change from Call of Duty to Siege to other things. Now, the biggest thing about all this is they can and will cheat. There's a reason. Cheating is easy to do when you know what you're doing, and the reason why they would do it is to stay on top. Now, from what I understand, this is not me saying this, but apparently her whole situation, or allegedly her situation, is because of not so much clout as she loves being like praised. She loves being rained on with praise. She's an egomaniac from what it sounds like. So she does all this so she can constantly see people compliment her. And it doesn't even stop there. It actually gets a little worse. So in one of the scenes, which we'll get to here in just a second, basically she does get what looks like a legitimate blindfold, an actual thicker one that she was recommended and she actually bought and used. But there's a lot of details to it that honestly I missed watching the content that Karl Jobst put out, because when he was talking about it, I noticed something that I thought was what he was onto, but he alluded to it might be something else, so don't just wait till the end of the video and he would, kind of clarify that. Basically, she had up the display of her mouse and keyboard. It would show what she was doing the whole time, and I thought it was odd that the Windows key and the escape key was not there. But then again, a lot of people don't use those. They're not, bound keys for when you're playing games 99% of the time, because if it was, it'd be really stupid. If not 100% of the time, honestly. But that's where the confusion gets in. She was wearing a recommended mask. She also had everything blocked off with paper, which made absolutely no sense. A lot of people just cut their screen off. But there's another thing, which you cannot see on my desk. Essentially, right here, where the camera is on top of one monitor. Right here is another monitor that I usually have my OBS on so I can see how my video is going when I'm recording. And then the content to which I'm talking about, usually on this one that has the camera. So while I'm reading or going through what I'm saying, it's a little easier to look down, look up, and still kind of keep eye contact, basically, not to look super weird by just talking like this all the time and looking up and not even, having that direct response. And then the other one people don't know about is my one on my left. Now, the one on my left is sitting, vertically. To make it a lot easier for me to read, I actually pull up documents in my videos. It's easier to pull it down, and being it's sitting this way, it's so much easier for me to go through my video clips, thumbnails, whatever I'm doing. Well, I say thumbnails, just screenshots and stuff, and then move them over to my editing, because pretty much this monitor is all for my video editing or video recording. The stuff in the middle is for all the videos and sources that I'm looking up. I say sources loosely because it's just Google. And then there's one other thing, which I think I've mentioned before. I have a TV up here. Now, the TV up here is literally for gaming, which, by the way, I also got me an Elgato on the way. And I will be getting another PS5 in like 2 weeks. And then I can set up in time to play some Dragon's Dogma. But that's irrelevant to what I'm saying. Basically, this is what's going on. She is faking it. Now, two people completely bust her out. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So, yeah, basically, I don't know what I'm loading. This right here, as my goal was reacting to it, because he kind of believed it for the most part. It's come out left and right that, well, maybe, honestly, to me, he shouldn't even been, backing this up, because clearly, if he knew anything, and this is what gets me, if he knew anything about speedrunning or any of, blindfold, that's why I don't cover blindfolded stuff or a lot of speedrunning, because I don't know what is technically would be cheating. Because the only game I can speedrun is Symphony of the Night. I only know enough to do the tactics. I don't know enough to know when somebody's cheating. But I think it's really goofy of him to put himself in there and try to... obviously, he didn't know enough, and it is just an accident, but he's just like, oh my god, she's really doing it.
Queen Pwnsalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. This right here, which you hear him talking about the monitor thing, and this is something he didn't even notice, he did not pay attention to, which I kind of have to commend Karl Jobst for finally actually getting to that point. I wouldn't have thought about it because normally when people speak about their setups, I don't see a lot of streamers go outside of 2 monitors. Not a lot anyway. All the main ones I watch have 2. And so this is what I'm talking about down here. She has the over the display to show all her stuff. And I thought I was onto something by thinking, there's no escape key and there's no Windows key. But then again, stupid me should have understood. You don't use those in a game.
Me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, cool. Now,
here's something that I didn't catch, and he had to explain to me because dumb brain me didn't understand. I want you to watch down here because he's going to clarify it.
alright.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
Where is... That's why we go through what we go through, right? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most...
So it took me a second to realize, like, on your mouse, when you move something, you hold the button down. That's what she's doing. Now I'm just going to clarify just a little bit. Obviously, what I'm meaning is, everybody knows you click the mouse and to move everything. But that's the thing. It's such a known thing, that didn't come to mind that she would use such a simple tactic to do this. That's my point. I don't want people to think that I don't know how to work a computer at all. Obviously, yeah, your mouse does everything. But that's the thing. It was so simple. Kind of how Karl puts it, it's so obvious and simple that it should have been seen. Which if you would, it's pretty simple for you to just pick it up and you would see her moving it over, which is usually what they do when they're trying to move something, which is pretty obvious when you think about it now. But that's just a small bit, nitpick of it. Basically, on top of that, a little bit later, she, while doing all this, she starts reading off the chat, which she should not be able to see at all, which I think is hilarious. And that comes to the point where basically everybody can assume she's an egotistical maniac, because why would she be so hard to read off from the chat? Or she didn't read off of it. You can tell she read it because she responded to it. That's what I meant to say. And what makes it even better, she stops herself halfway through, realizing, oh God, I just may have exposed myself already. And what it was, she started, answering the chat. And then she tries to pull it away, pull back, and try to look like she's reading it so she can actually say something. So essentially what they speculate is happening, she moved her OBS over. Now, it's still delayed, but OBS is going to be fast enough to kind of pick up on it anyway. So that being said, what essentially happens is she moves her OBS. She uses it to be able to fight Alatreon. Sorry, I'm kind of lost on Monster Hunter. I haven't played in a while. Basically, not to detract from the fact that she is a skilled player, she is still. But this is just to show you that people cheat, and that actually when they're doing really good, it's almost an incentive for them to cheat more, or even more of an incentive to cheat. People do it all the time, and there's not a real good reason why ever, because they always have this thing, oh, I'm stressed out, or, I have this huge, platform that I have to, go and perform on. So people like Dream, for instance, he cheated, and even by the end of it, looked like a complete buffoon when he tried to defend it. I still don't even think his defense was good enough, but this is something else. She's going to try to detract from it and talk a bunch of shit. Here's what I find funny. I went to her channel to show that she addressed the accusations, at least as of recent. This is a few weeks old, so I don't know how far she wanted to do this, but this is what I think stupid. This is a common misdirection to try to act like you are, innocent, and so she can try to deflect this onto one thing and one thing only, which you'll see a lot of in a lot of female streamers and YouTubers that don't take accountability. Not saying all women do this, it's just these specific ones, and it's right here. You knew it was fake because women don't play video games. Is this Alatreon Queen? She never killed that many, by the way. Her simp moderator, I taught her. Everyone, show us how it is done, then we wait. She's basically pulling all of these, borderline sexist comments, just so she can play the victim. Now, a lot of this has been addressed back and forth, and I have to say, yeah, she looks like a buffoon for this. She's just, she's new to streaming and this and that. She's actually garnered quite a following as of late. She's got about 4,000 subscribers, so there's nothing to gawk at. She's not doing horrible. Biggest problem is, though, is the fact that she, is faking some videos, it looks like. And the worst part is you have no idea what other videos she's may have faked or lied about. If they're willing to go this far already, and being that she's new to it, so she doesn't have the backing, at least in this. Now, she may be on Twitch and been on Twitch for a while. I'm not sure the exact details how long she's been doing this, but her YouTube channel is just a few years old, or 4 years old. What I think's hilarious is if you ever look, a lot of the stuff she does, which is nothing to gawk at. Like I said, she does do like Elden Ring, and it looks like Call of Duty or Call of Duty games, stuff like that. And it's just a bunch of recaps. But the ironic part is she's had a YouTube channel for a while, but she only uploaded a few for the first few years, and then she's kind of been uploading a little bit more recently. I think it's funny because she uses her YouTube. It doesn't seem like a lot for her to be getting the views she gets. She only started getting views recently, at least on her channel, due to the controversy. If you were to look, let me see right here. Right here, you can see it. Basically, her 57,000, 41,000, 132,000, and pretty much all the other ones are either a few hundred, which, don't get me wrong, my channel doesn't do. Does about the same. And then, like, this one is probably because it's 3 years old, and anything to do with Warzone, it will pop up. The other one's about 1,000, about 100. So it seems that this is where she's getting everything, and she's going to defend it. I just think it's stupid to defend something you lied about, and it's been going on for, well, damn near a month. She's been holding on to the fact that she did it blindfolded. And at some point, she's going to have to answer for it because, I mean, she's got enough of a following. Probably nobody's going to give a shit. But out of 4,000 subscribers, and I doubt you're going to get, the recognition you're wanting. This is not the way to go, unfortunately. And if you're skilled, I mean, just use your skill. Yeah, you started late, it looks like, and there's a lot of other bigger YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff that you got to go up against. Out of her, basically trying to use sexism, essentially. I think it's going to come out at some point, or at least her smartest move is going to come out and say, it was all a joke. Haha, I made a joke. Now, obviously, some people are going to see that coming. But like I said, the biggest argument that I think people have is whether or not you're a simp or if you're a incel, which I think is the dumbest argument. You can't just not like her. I don't like her already just because of that. I think it's a dumb way to try to garner an audience. But that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.